Hi, my name is Alexis Austin. I wanted to touch base with you all today just to kind of give you an idea of who I am and how I practice law. I was a prosecutor in a couple different counties before I came here. I've worked in Arapahoe, Pueblo, and El Paso County. And you see a lot of things where defense attorneys say, oh, I was a prosecutor so I can represent you better because I know the ins and outs. I have that background, but that's not what I'm about. What I'm about is taking a different approach to the law. As a prosecutor, I got to sit down and work on cases and get all the experience that I need that benefits my clients now to work with people. But it also gave me a unique perspective on things that are not done in a completely just way. What I mean by that is, as a prosecutor, a lot of people just see the individuals that come into court as a case file. They don't see them as human, and they don't understand that there's a whole lot that goes into people ending up in the courtroom. For example, you have people who have been overseas. I have a lot of clients who've come to me who served in the U.S. military in some capacity. A lot of people come back with untreated PTSD. A lot of them don't even have a diagnosis for that. And then those issues that they have result in other things happening. So that can cause people to drink more, people to have responses that they normally wouldn't have. The problem is that the DAs are trained to see, okay, here's a person acting in a way that is outside of the law, so we're going to charge them for this crime. What I learned to do is I learned to look at, there's this crime that may or may not have been committed, there's an issue here that we need to address, and looking at what really brought them to this point. So as a prosecutor, I really tried to do that and focus on that. But it turns out that the powers that be aren't always particularly fond of that approach. Some district attorneys' offices focus more on statistics, more on pushing cases through, and that's not what I'm about. The reason I came to be a defense attorney is because I saw so many people struggling through the system without any help, without any idea of what was going on, or they were just stuck in this endless circle of, you get a public defender, you're stuck in jail, you don't have anyone to talk to, and you just make these choices kind of offhand, and you're trying to decide what to do, but you don't really have any guidance. A lot of what my job as a defense attorney is not to be that bulldog that goes into court and just tears up everyone and everything for you. I can do that, and that's something that I offer to my clients when they need it. But the bigger thing that I think is important is to focus on why you've gotten to this point. If you're here just because of one accident, if you've had something where, you went out with some friends, you drank too much, and you made a really dumb choice and got behind the wheel and drove, there's nothing wrong with you as a person. You just made a bad choice. And my job is to go to the DAs and say, hey, look, this is just someone who did something any of us could have done, and they got caught, and this is what we need to do to rectify the situation. If there's someone who has a bigger issue going on, say they have undiagnosed PTSD, they have something going on in their past that they haven't addressed yet or they're working through, that can really leak over and cause a lot of other issues in life, not just on the criminal side. So my job is to dig in and try to get to know my clients as a person and then deal with their legal issues. It's interesting because a lot of the times, I don't want to say a lot of the times, most of the time when I really dig in and get to know my clients, you see a lot of the same things happening. You see a lack of family support, you see something else that happened in their life that was kind of the impetus for all of this life change that happened afterwards. So you'll have a divorce, a breakup, a tragedy, you'll have military time that they've been overseas, you'll have something that really triggered this change in their life. And part of my job is to help my clients find that initial starting point and track back to what was going on initially, treat that and get the help that they need, and then move on and deal with the criminal case. A couple of things that I do differently than other defense attorneys here in town is I'm not that bulldog. I'm not going to go in and just say that everyone's lying and everyone's doing everything wrong, because I try to really respect my colleagues in this community. So most of the DAs that I deal with, I have very good working relationships with. A lot of them are my friends outside of court. And I tell my clients that up front. I firmly believe that you get more flies with honey than vinegar. I'm Southern, that's just kind of how my viewpoint is. But you go in just guns blazing, being a jerk, you're not going to get as much. So my approach is I go in and I talk to people. I am connecting my client who is a person with the DA who is a person. So that's the first thing that I do. The other thing that I do is I really try to get my client to get to know me and for me to get to know them on personal levels, so that it's not something where you're just seeing your lawyer every once in a while. It's that person that shows up in a suit and you don't know what they're doing. I talk to my clients all the time. A lot of my clients, I give my personal cell phone number to. They can text me anytime they have a question. I'm sitting there. I'll be there and support them in major family events, whatever it is that they need. I try to be more than just your advocate in court, but really try to help you with anything I can. I do have a couple of things that are different than other attorneys where I'm not looking to see if you're on one side or the other. I represent victims. I represent people charged with crimes. I represent whoever needs help. And it's not because I'm just trying to get everybody in here and get as many people and as many clients as much money as possible. That's not what I'm about. I'm about representing people who want to do the right thing, who are trying to get their life back together, who just need a helping hand doing that. So, for example, I take on people who, if they've been a victim of domestic violence, a lot of victims of domestic violence are actually improperly charged, and they're charged as the perpetrator. But what happens is the criminal justice system isn't set up to thoroughly dig into these cases and see what's going on. So I work with my clients, whatever side they're on, to help them get their best outcome. Some people may not like that, and if you're one of those people who says, no, I want someone who's going to fight the man and fight the power no matter what, I'll give you names of people who will do that for you. My job isn't to sit here and be something that I'm not. I am who I am. I stand up for my clients. I represent everyone to the utmost best of my ability, and I give them what I think is more beneficial than just legal service. I give them any kind of service I can do to help them along, not only in their criminal case, but in their life. So if this is some kind of relationship that you're looking to have with an attorney, if you're looking, or if you just want information about our firm, feel free to give us a call. Our number is 719-822-6227, or you can just message us on our website. We respond all the time, and we're happy to help you out and see if this would be the right fit for you, and if coming to the right law group is something you'd be interested in doing.